I see myself almost like a custodian of a piece of history as well.
时尚达人龙志珍永远走在潮流的前端，对于新款、限量款、最潮配饰无所不知，总是能穿出属于自己的风格。除了名牌服饰，他也收藏各设计师家具，把家居布置得很有个人品味，活出态度。
During COVID, when we spent a lot more time at home, it quickly dawned on me that I need more space, a bigger place just to keep everything.
为了让自己的无数珍藏有一个更好的家，龙志珍积极展开猎屋行动。最终，他在乌节路一带找到了心中理想的屋子。
I didn't want to compromise too much on location. I still would like to be in core central part of Singapore, and I want a piece of land and I want a house. And it stood out to me that shop house will tick all the boxes.
乌节路一带的店屋并不多，所以2021年，当这一栋金喜路老屋在公开市场出售时，龙志珍当机立断将它买下。
I saw it on a listing without even seeing the actual property. I knew I would like this one because it just spoke to me.
老屋坐落在一块面积超过2500平方英尺的土地上，是一栋2层带阁楼的夹心建筑。屋子外观保留着英殖民地时期的艺术装置风格，屋内却别有洞天。
Unlike any other shop houses which tend to be done in a very either resort way or Peranakan style, this is completely different. It was modern with glass staircase, glass floor, and I like the juxtaposition of modern and new. Be careful.
Yeah, there's nothing to hold, so I think just hold.
龙志珍第一时间找来室内设计师陈伟发，一起打造理想家居。陈伟发之前曾参与多项老店屋装修项目，又曾经为志珍设计过房子，所以是不二人选。
This unit is very straightforward. When we step into the unit, I can tell straight away how we're going to use the space. You have the front formal living area, then followed by the formal dining area, and it opens up to this internal courtyard, which is washed by natural light from the skylight. And you get a glimpse of the next public space, which is the entertainment space. Yeah, nice view, Terrence.
为了解开老屋尘封的过去，龙志珍联络上了对新加坡英殖民地时期建筑颇有研究的历史学家 Julian Davison。
First thing I have to say is it's not a shop house, it's a townhouse.
排屋建于1919年，是当代著名建筑师 J.B. Westerhout 为新加坡先驱富商王三龙所设计的10间排屋之一。在1989年被列为受保留建筑，前任屋主曾经在2000年为排屋内部进行大规模的翻新。
Townhouses weren't all that much bigger than a shop house, but this is absolutely huge, and it was obviously intended for very wealthy people, and they were going to live in great style.
It was like Greystone.
这一天，龙志珍亲临陈伟发的工作室，以跟进屋子的翻新计划。作为老屋的新主人，志珍坚持要尽可能保留屋子的现有设计和建材，如玻璃楼梯和阁楼、浴室的古瓷砖墙等。同时，他也希望加入一些新元素，让屋子也能体现他的个人风格。
And I feel that's the beauty of refurbishing something that is heritage, because how do you update it to current times while still preserving the historical structure?
2021年11月，装修工程正式展开。从修复房子、清洗屋顶和天窗，到铺设电线和水管，花了大约1个半月的时间。随后，定制的材料陆续抵达，承包商开始安装橱柜和其他设备。
The renovation work has got on a lot faster than I expected. The last time we were here, there wasn't the wood panels, and within a few weeks, it was up and ready. And of course, the glass floor mezzanine, where it's going to be a wardrobe. All these places definitely turn out exactly the way I envision it to be.
随着装修工程接近尾声，这棵来自荷兰的橄榄树也赶在主人家搬进来之前，先在前院落户。种植橄榄树需要采用排水良好的沙土和青石，还需要充足的阳光和足够的水分。为了照料它，园艺工人还特地安装了 LED 灯和智控灌溉系统。
The garden space is very important because that's the first impression of any home. So I think that olive tree would be the first piece that will mark the space.
The olive house, yeah. I decided to just call it the olive house.
经过半年的精心改造，位于金喜路的这一栋老牌屋——橄榄之家终于竣工。除了保留了原有的建筑外观以及前屋主与时并进的室内格局设计，老屋这回添加了许多内置存储空间、中世纪现代家居摆设以及现代化配备。
So it's really blending all three perspectives together. The original house in 1919, the previous architect, the previous owner, as well as the current mood and feel of the place.
龙志珍在2022年5月中正式搬入这栋自己全程参与打造的房子。至于买屋、装修和布置所花的费用，他由始至终不愿透露。
I would say it's in line with what you expect of a house of this size. I'd rather not have a number. I think it's tacky to give a number.
住进老屋后，龙志珍很快的就爱上了这个新家。
Oh, I love it. I didn't feel like I was missing the old place, even though I still love it a lot. I guess the excitement of a new adventure, of a new place, kind of like prepares you to move on.
龙志珍最喜欢的角落就是主人房上面的玻璃地板阁楼。为了可以好好的摆设和收藏她的名贵服饰，志珍把它改装成步入式衣帽间。
Kind of like my little own sanctuary where I display my personal fashion collection. There are pieces that even though I may not wear it anymore, but I still keep it because it has a lot of history as well. Like for example, it was from a particular collection when it was under this designer.
龙志珍也将2楼的一间卧室改装成日常衣帽间，这里除了有更多的衣柜外，还设有更衣室，方便服饰店职员上门为他提供试衣和修改服务。
那这样啊，全部贴到完了。
Oh, I like it. Firstly, it's a lot bigger than in the shop. And we can immediately try out with, say, different pairs of shoes or different bags to see which one matches. Well, I alter almost on a weekly basis. Being able to do it at home and doing all at one go is efficient for me.
这一晚，龙志珍第一次在橄榄之家宴客，可说是个小型的乔迁晚宴。她非常重视这场宴会，从屋子的布置到餐桌上的点缀和所用的餐具，每一个细节都不马虎，务必做到尽善尽美，好让宾客留下最佳的印象。他也特地请了调酒师现场调制3款鸡尾酒，还为他们取了和老屋相关的名字。
The team actually asked for a sketch of the place to do the edible cover, and it's a sketch of the olive tree because it's called Olive House, and with the word Kenya Colada. So it's like a personalized cocktail. I like personalized touches to spruce up the party.
这一晚，龙志珍也请来名厨为晚宴掌厨。晚上7点，宾客陆续抵达。龙志珍和陈伟发带领宾客游览老屋，讲述它的特色和历史，让宾客了解他们是如何将现代元素带入老屋，同时又保留了老屋独有的历史韵味。
This is original, the steel, you know. So these tiles are from the wall. We reuse from the wall.
Nice, well done.
So when we change the wall, I see myself almost like a custodian of a piece of history as well. It has so much history, so many stories to tell. I would like to share whatever that I've learned with whoever that's interested to know more, because I feel like stories like these should be told to the next few generations.
It is quite a sort of revelatory experience to come through the front door, and then these incredible spaces and luxurious, the materials that have been used.
游览结束后，宾客们来到饭厅用膳。由于老屋的建筑师 J.B. Westholt 是欧亚人，而前屋主则有娘惹血统。为了凸显这一段历史渊源，晚宴的菜色综合了娘惹和现代风味。乔迁之宴过后，老屋和他的新主人也将展开一段新篇章。